Welcome to Torah Simecha Practical Parenting, where we'll take an idea from Torah Simecha and bring it down to practical use in real life. So let's look at Parshas Bo. In Parshas Bo, Paro has finally had enough, and he says to Moshe, "Get out, you can go, no problem. By the way, who exactly do you need to take with you?" And Moshe says, "We're taking everybody. We're taking our young, we'll take our old, we'll take our sons, we're taking our daughters. We need everybody there." And Paro said, no, you don't. You're going to worship your God. You really only need the men. You need the adult men. That's it. Everyone else has to stay here. And Moshe said, "That's the deal? Then no, we're not going to go because we need everybody. Ki Chag Hashem lanu. It's a holiday. It's a festival for Hashem. And we only celebrate with everybody all together." A little bit later, we're given the mitzvah of Korban Pesach. And Korban Pesach, you'll remember, has to be Se leves avos se labayis. It has to be eaten family by family in your own private home. It has to be lemishpachosam. It had to be by their families. There was no such thing as getting together with your friends to have a teenage minyan group for Korban Pesach. It was family by family. Because when we celebrate, when we have Shabbos, when we have Yomim Tovim, when we serve Hashem, we do it with our families. And the Rabbeinu Bachai actually learns from here that it's an obligation on each person to bring his family close together, to bring them together and close to each other so that they celebrate together, so that they have Yomim Tovim together, so that they celebrate joyous times and beautiful times together. So I want to take this opportunity to talk about our Shabbos tables and how we can make sure that everyone in our family is part of our Shabbos table, that we all feel integral and important and heard, and that we really are celebrating Shabbos together as a family. This is a very, very simple tip. It is a trick that we learned from my parents, and it's a rule that we have. And the rule is only one conversation at the Shabbos table at a time. It's very easy. It's not like we announce it. There's no these are the rules of our Shabbos table, only one conversation. It's just something we know. This is what we do. That in our table, every single meal on Shabbos, there is one conversation that unites everyone together, and everyone is part of that one conversation. There's no such thing as, two people all the way at the end sitting and whispering together, or my husband talking just to the person next to him and me only talking to the lady across from me. We're all having one conversation together. And from the smallest person at the table to the oldest person at the table, there is one topic that we are all discussing all together. And that means, of course, that throughout the week, my husband and I are both on the lookout for interesting topics, interesting questions, interesting things to bring to the table and ask everyone's opinion on. This happened this week in the news. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Or a question on the parsha. Do you have a suggestion of what the answer to this question could be? Or do you see a problem with this? It's really my husband, by the way, who does most of it. I prepare the food. He thinks more about the conversation. But if I notice something, I do bring it. And we have riddles and games, parsha riddles that we bring to the Shabbos table. And that is what we do to consciously try and keep everybody together, having one conversation where we are just as interested in hearing from a 5-year-old when it's, when they have something to say as we do for anybody else. It doesn't mean that my kids sit at the table the whole entire time, right? They will sit for some and then they'll ask to be excused and they'll go play and then they'll come back and then they'll go play and then they'll come back. But when they're at the table, we're all having one conversation, and we try very hard to make it of general interest. It's not the time that we're catching each other up, on what happened to us this week, and no one else will find that interesting. It's really a Shabbos table where everyone is part of a conversation, that everyone has what to say, everyone has what to think about. And the bonus is, by the way, that when my kids have friends over and they get to become part of the Shabbos table conversation, we get to learn about their friends in ways that we wouldn't otherwise. I look forward all the time to hearing what my kids' friends have to say at our Shabbos tables. It's a way to get to know people and for everyone to feel heard, to feel known, to be valued. It's a beautiful thing, and I hope you will try it out at your Shabbos table and let me know how it goes.